Hello?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Welcome aboard Frank's Magic Bus. For the next 2 hours, Frank Welch takes you on a musical journey with some of the best deep tracks in classic rock history. You'll hear this week's featured artist.
And welcome to a mountain of a special here on Frank's Magic Bus. We are going to get into Mountain and other things that Leslie West has done in rock and roll because he is our guest. We're going to talk one-on-one with Leslie West, the leader of Mountain, as in Mississippi Queen. They played at Woodstock in 1969, the year before that big hit. You look up Power Trio on my rock and roll dictionary, right there at the top is going to be Mountain, Corky Laing, Felix Popularity, who had been a Creed's producer, also was a bass player for Mountain. Then, right after that, when Mountain broke up, Leslie formed West Bruce Laing. He and Corky, the drummer from Mountain, they got together with Cream's bass player Jack Bruce for another fantastic hard rock trio of a fantastic solo album Leslie has called Still Climbing. He's got Johnny Winter and some other rockers helping him out there. So you could almost call this a Leslie West special. Leslie West was a New York, New Jersey native, so it had to be a major thrill when he played Woodstock in 1969, one of those breakout acts that reverberated around the country. And then he returned not too many years ago for something kind of special. You got married a few years ago. Pretty interesting place, didn't you?
On stage at Woodstock at the 40th anniversary reunion, and they built a beautiful amphitheater up there where the original stage was. In fact, you can see Leslie West wedding on YouTube. It's funny when the Justice of the Peace came out during our show, by the way, right after Nantucket Sleigh Ride. And I said, it was 40 years in a day since I played here. This would be a great time to get married. And there was a complete silence. The amphitheater held around 20,000 people. There was dead silence. They saw the Justice of the Peace come out on stage, and everybody in the band were holding my guitars at an arch, and Jenny walked out in the wedding gown. So I had 20,000 plus witnesses, so it was pretty cool.
That was amazing. Levon Helm was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was a really good friend of mine, Levon, and he was holding one of the guitars. If you look, you'll see Levon holding one of the guitars.
We all miss that guy, I'll tell you what.
Close by to each other in Woodstock and hung out together. But he's greatly missed, I can tell you that.
As I mentioned, Mountain was one of those breakout acts at Woodstock in August of 1969. And for the next several weeks, a lot of high schoolers, a lot of college rock and rollers started hearing about how great their set was. It was an 11-song set. You talk about prime time, big time. How was this for a prime time slot? They played on that Woodstock weekend, Saturday night at 9 o'clock. And Leslie was stoked for that performance. What is your one memory, your best memory, or your one that stands out when you played Woodstock back in '69 with Mountain?
After we finished, we went on after the Grateful Dead, and we had to stay the whole night because we hired our own helicopter to take us back and forth to Manhattan. And the pilot wouldn't fly at night. The mountains were there were no lights. He was worried about crashing into a mountain, but we got to see Creedence, Clearwater, The Who, Sly and the Family Stone. We got to see a lot of great talent that night, so that was what I remember.
By staying over then, right?
Yeah, we stayed. We left around 7 in the morning.
We continue our one-on-one conversation with Leslie West of Mountain on Frank's Magic Bus. I'm Frank Welch. Now, Leslie West continues to tour off and on over the years. Even though he's had health problems and lost a leg to diabetes, he's had cancer. And touring on the buses and even playing sometimes with that artificial leg is pretty tough. Both are, as it is with Leslie's buddy and collaborator, Johnny Winter, as we continue our conversation with Leslie West. I've seen Johnny Winter in recent years, like on Letterman or whatever, and I've seen you on Letterman before too, but he has to sit down now because he's kind of,
So do I, because my balance is off with the prosthetic.
So you have to sit down these days. Yeah, I'm okay.
Stop smoking.
I smoke one cigar a week, but I drink too much coffee. I drink too much coffee, and it gets the damn throat really dry. Wow, need to get me some water. Anyway, back to how you have to sit down when you play.
An electric wheelchair because my balance with the prosthetic isn't good, and I have to wear the guitar and sing, and supposed to distribute your weight between the prosthetic and the real leg, and you don't trust that prosthetic because it feels alien, so I'd rather not worry about falling while I'm singing and playing. So it's a little harder to get around. There's no tour buses that are equipped to handle a wheelchair and so on and so forth. So it's a little bit more difficult, but we're working on it every day to figure out. We take a bus and we'll have to be totally converted. I think there's one bus in the whole country that's equipped like that. I think Neil Young did it for his son. I'm not sure why, but his son has some kind of health problem. He wants to take him on the road with him, so he equipped the bus to handle that.
Yeah, that's why he's got that bridge school benefit, that bridge school that they go to out there. So let's move on now to West Bruce and Laing in the early 70s after Mountain, that great trio you got involved with. But I play West Bruce and Laing, like I mentioned, and you'd be hard-pressed to ever hear that in classic rock radio. I kind of look at you guys as a super group that should have been bigger, and the stuff still sounds good, kind of like Cactus was. Do you feel you guys were underappreciated?
Carnegie Hall on Radio City Music Hall, and we sold the concerts out. We played Carnegie Hall before we even had an album. I appreciate it. We just weren't together long enough. Drugs played a big part of that. But, Jack Bruce, to me, is one of the best bass players that ever graced the rock stage, and I will always love him, and I enjoy playing with him.
I know that was a fantastic short-lived group there. But also you had, your producer for Mountain, Felix Popularity, and your bass player, but he was producer of Cream.
6 degrees of separation there.
Yeah, really, a couple of connections to Cream. As we rock on with our Leslie West and Mountain special, I'm Frank Welch. Let's get into some of the 2013 Still Climbing album from Leslie, one of his hardest albums he's ever done, with or without Mountain. Stellar, hard blues rock. He's got Johnny Winter on this, Johnny Lang, Dee Snider, a Twisted Sister, as we continue our one-on-one chat with Leslie West. We got the new album, Still Climbing, 2013 album. You got some pretty great people helping you out in this one, I guess, like your last album, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it helping me out, but it's sure fun playing together.
I noticed first thing off was your voice is in pretty great shape. I'm just a little bit younger than you are, but what kind of advice do you give people to keep those vocal cords in great shape? You really do sound like it's like 30, 40 years ago, man.
Stop smoking.
You think that's it?
Stop smoking. 7 years ago, I had bladder cancer, so I said to the doctor, how do you get that? He said, smoking. I said, well, isn't there another way you can get bladder cancer? He said, no, smoking. And I said, there's got to be some other way you can get it. He said, smoking. So I stopped smoking weed and cigarettes, and I think it showed up on this album. I can hear it in my voice, and easier to hit some of the higher notes.
Yeah, the voice is really thick and clear in this thing. I'd never heard that smoking causes bladder cancer. You'd think it was something you drank or something, but man.
That's the only thing that causes bladder cancer.
That is amazing. Well, it must have done the trick, because like I said, you sound like it's 30 years ago or so, which is really cool. That last album you did in 2011 got a lot of good reviews. Is this kind of an extension of that, or are you going somewhere else with this Still Climbing?
No, it's I'm looking at the reviews. Reviews look better than the first one, and the sound overall is better on this album. I think there's better songs.
Yeah, the songs really are memorable, like heavy bluesy, kind of like Mountain, I guess.
Besides recording it, my engineer, co-producer Mike Goldberg recorded my guitars, no EQ. In the mix, we had Mike Frazier from Vancouver mix the album, and that's what he specializes in. He's done Metallica, Joe Satriani, AC/DC, Aerosmith, everybody. And so you get somebody with a fresh pair of ears to mix it. And when I heard it all done, I was impressed. So I'm not easily impressed.
So he recorded it kind of flat, right, and then added the EQs later, or you didn't add any later?
No, we didn't add any EQ to my guitar. Maybe, I don't know what they did, but just reverb and delay. But there's no equalization. My amp was out in the studio, and when Johnny Lang came in and recorded, when we sat in the control room and played guitar, and the cabinets were out in the studio, and the sound you hear, at least out of my amps, is what's coming out of my amps. Through the head, no pedals, no overdrives, distortion pedals. It's just I use Black Star amps, and one in particular I use is Series 100 watt, and it really worked. Yeah, the production on this album sounds very clear and very thick on this. A great sound in the thing. And like I said, your vocals really are strong. It surprised me because I had heard about your health problems in recent years. And but that's my leg.
Yeah. Well, but that's I've had diabetes in my family too, so I've seen the devastation that can just take in your whole damn body, you know. But that's what I'm saying. I'm pleasantly surprised at your vocal range in this thing. It just kicks ass in there. But you got some good people you're playing with, some exciting guys. I mean, I'm a longtime Johnny Winter fan. Who else you got on this thing?
Well, the first cut, Dying Since the Day, was born Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge and Creed, playing guitar with me, and did an exceptional job on this song. Dying Since the Day I was born. I mean, people say, well, are you doing a self-portrait there? I said, well, everybody's dying from the day they're born. You know, if you buy a car in a showroom and drive it off the lot, it depreciates 25%, so you just drive away with it.
Exactly.
You know, so things start to go the other way. But Johnny Lang played on the album with me, and Johnny Winter plays on Busted, Disgusted, or Dead.
Yeah, that's the song I like right there. Busted, Disgusted, or Dead. Really bluesy there. You know, it starts out kind of a little acoustic-y slide, then it kind of punches in.